So I am sitting in the spot right here where my new Peninsula reef tank will be sitting, hopefully within a couple of weeks. And I am really psyched for this new tank build. And what I wanted to do was to do a video series to really kind of show you folks, every step of the way in terms of this new tank build. So this first video is going to be an introductory video, and I'm going to talk about how I arrived at the location where this tank will be. I also have a 187-gallon reef tank in this room, this finished basement. So I've talked about this in other videos on the ReefBum YouTube channel, but I'm going to recap it for those of you that haven't seen any of those videos in terms of how I arrived at the spot that I'm sitting in right now and the tank size and things like that. So let's kick it off. All right, so right off the bat, what I want to say here is that this will be an SPS dominant tank. Those of you that know me know that I am an SPS nut. This is a custom aquarium from Coast to Coast Custom Aquariums, and Patrick there is awesome. Those guys really just deliver in terms of the time frame that they promise, which is great in terms of having that reliability with a tank, custom tank builder. But this has a this will have a overflow box. It's got Euro bracing, Starfire on 3 sides. It's very similar in terms of what I have on my 187-gallon tank, so I'm really pumped. And I will do a much more in-depth look into this custom aquarium once I pick it up and get it on top of the stand. So look forward to that later on in the video series. The tank is going to be 225-gallon. It is going to be 72 inches long by 36 inches wide and 20 inches tall. I'm really psyched about those dimensions. I think it's going to be a really neat tank. And I've never had a 36-inch wide tank. I've had 30-inch wide tanks. So I think it's going to really look cool in this spot right here. And just to kind of pan around the room here in the finished basement, there is the 187-gallon tank. And you can see the pool table in the foreground right here. That's my desk. That's the ReefBum offices back there underneath the skis. I'm a big skier, so that's going to be that's a common theme in this house in terms of skiing and fishing with a bait and tackle sign and reef tanks. But yeah, geez, the pool table used to be in that spot. I just had it moved, and let me tell you, that's not cheap. It was moved literally 15 feet over here in this part of the room, and I'll widen the shot out a little bit here. So literally it was 15 feet that I moved back to this part of the room, and it cost me $500. And that's because here in Vermont we don't have a lot of folks that move pool tables. Anyway, so what I wanted to talk about is why I chose that location in that part of the room and why I spent $500 to move this pool table. But, in my view, it is definitely worth doing so. So the reason why I want it up against this wall is, I've got some stairs right here that come down to this room. It's going to be really neat because you're going to be walking down these stairs, and the first thing you are going to see is this beautiful Peninsula reef tank. And that's the spot that it's going to be in. So, that was one consideration in terms of the spot, why I wanted to have it there, was the visibility when you enter the room. And the other reason, probably the biggest reason why I wanted it up against this wall, is because it is adjacent to my fish tank room, which is behind this door right here. So let's go into the fish tank room. So this is where I've got my frag tanks set up in here, 2 frag tanks. This is my sump, my Royal Exclusiv sump for the 187-gallon display tank, and I've got all the plumbing that actually goes through the wall from that finished basement into this fish tank room. So it's really cool to kind of like have everything all in one spot, and I don't have to really reach for certain things. I got a lot of space to work, which is great for tank maintenance. So this room right here, the wall actually is the room where we have our furnace and a whole bunch of our hot water heater, things of that nature in this room right here. So what the plan is I am going to go through the wall from the finished basement, I'm going to go through this wall right here and through this wall. And that's going to take me out to this room. So really what I'm going to have is everything in the same room in terms of all my different equipment. And this bench right here is going to be replaced. I'm going to have a new wider, longer bench built. So the new sump is going to go underneath the new bench. There will not be a shelf, and it will give me a lot of room for the equipment on top of the new bench. And I'm also going to put another frag tank similar to this frag tank on top of the new bench. So it'll be good to have an actual you know, backup frag tank. Well, not a backup frag tank. It'll be good to have another separate system for a different frag tank for the new system. And it's always good, I think, to have a little redundancy. You don't want to have everything on the same system. You know, the one thing I was considering, instead of going onto the you know, the right side of the wall here and going, you know, into this room through the furnace room, I was also thinking about just going on the drilling holes through to the left of the Peninsula tank and having all the equipment set up in that furnace room. But what I decided was it was just going to be too hot, too warm in that room. It does get a little warmer than, you know, this fish tank room, and it's also a ventilation issue. There's just not as good a ventilation in this room. I have a couple of utility windows up here, although in the wintertime in Vermont those will not be open, but there is just better circulation in this room. So that is really the main the plan in terms of the tank, in terms of where it's going and where I am planning on plumbing it to in terms of the sump room. I will obviously have to do some cleaning up here in terms of the tools and the utility board up there, but that's all right. I'll find some spots for this stuff and rejigger everything, but that's really it. So again, I'm looking forward to taking you folks on this journey. Anyway, many thanks for watching, and if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. One last thing, if you need help with a new tank build or help reconfiguring your current setup, then feel free to reach out to me. I will put a link in the video description below. And if you're looking to add some equipment, I do sell GHL, Royal Exclusiv, and Pax Bellum products. So again, I'll put a link in the video description below. Again, thanks for watching. See you next time.